So Dr. Devika Gali is a nutritionist with a PhD in food and nutrition from Osmania University, Hyderabad. She has about 10 years of work experience in public health nutrition portfolio. She has been associated in past with renowned international organizations like CARE, UNICEF, FHI, and Child Fund International. Now currently associated with Piramal Foundation, supporting its program teams across states on nutrition front.
So today I'll be briefly walking you through the experiences of Piramal Swasthya in tribal areas towards nurturing community nutrition garden. Yeah. So broadly, I'll be covering about the nutrition situation in the tribal communities and then talk about the model in very brief and how the Piramal Swasthya team has been going ahead in nurturing nutrition garden in tribal areas and about the outcome so far. Yeah. So in the year 2019, that is in the last year, we have made an assessment of the situation of nutrition in the tribal communities. So what came across alarmingly is among these tribal areas, especially the Araku. The Araku is a tribal agency area which falls into ITDA Paderu. So when I say Araku, it is not only Araku but the entire ITDA Paderu area, which is nestled in the northeastern region of the state of Andhra Pradesh, which is just adjacent to Orissa. So people here have been traditionally associated with forest, hills, and the practices that is unique to their own lifestyle. And we know that in Andhra Pradesh state, it is the home to about 33 tribal communities, which constitute about 60.75% of the total India's tribal population. So here in our program, we were reaching out to 897 habitations, covering them for health and nutrition program. So the assessment of nutrition situation in these communities showed that the underweight among children is just 1.5 times more than other communities. And when we looked at the pregnant women nutritional status, pregnant women entered their pregnancy with a low weight as low as 34 kgs and 38 kgs and 36 kgs in the first, second, and third trimester. That shows at what level of BMI the pregnant women are actually entering into pregnancy. And when we looked at the lactating mothers, almost like about a quarter of lactating mothers have very low BMI, that is about less than 18.5 BMI. When we look at severe acute malnutrition prevalence in this tribal pocket, it was found that it is double to non-tribal areas. That is, in non-tribal areas, it is at 5% of the children are severely acutely malnourished. Whereas in this tribal population, it's been observed that SAM children are about 10%, which is almost double to the state average. So this highlights the need for an urgent innovative solution among tribal communities. Next slide, please. Yeah, this slide talks about, it gives us a glimpse about how stunting and underweight among children under age of 5 is spread or is rampant across in scheduled tribes compared to other non-tribe population. So stunting and underweight is almost 1/3 or like 1.5 times more than in scheduled tribes compared to non-tribe. Can we go to next slide? Yeah, this slide talks about the vulnerability of the tribal populations in India. So basically, we know that the ethnic barriers, basically they are hunter-gatherers. Unlike to non-tribal areas, the major source of food and diet is from forest source. The environmental and deforestation barriers put them into a very critical situation wherein the difficult terrain, scattered geographies, deforestation, and all are depleting their natural source of food. Coming to socio-cultural barriers, they have traditional myths and food taboos of their own, and there is a lack of awareness about new food and nutritionally challenging behaviors is more prevalent in these areas. And another barrier is accessibility. So accessibility to protein services of ICDS and health is a major challenge, and lack of sanitation is a major challenge. All this together is putting these communities towards severe undernutrition, let it be either pregnant women or children or lactating mothers. Next slide, please. Yeah, when we typically look into the household of the tribal kitchen, we can see here they hardly have anything to eat in their kitchen. Whereas if you look into the market of the tribal market, they have plenty of seasonal fruits and vegetables. So what it actually means is there is a variety of beans, pulses. I mean, the food diversity does exist, but it does not get actually translated into a healthy diet into the household or the family diet. So it doesn't get actually translated into the food plate. And the second thing is all this diet diversity that is available is very seasonal. So there it leads to a long agriculture lean season wherein there is absolutely no diet diversity during the agriculture lean season period. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this slide talks about the model. The model is Community Nutrition Hub in the tribal blocks, which is a nutrition garden associated model. So in this model, at the block level, Parimal Swasthya has established a community nutrition hub, which has an open kitchen for conducting a health sessions of demonstration of low-cost recipes and the awareness session or BPC session hall, and both accompanied with a nutrition garden. So basically, this model works as an upgraded Anganwadi model, wherein the beneficiaries from the local areas and the Anganwadi workers from surrounding habitations come there. They learn, they pick up the knowledge. They learn by demonstration, and then they go back and they replicate in their own habitation. So the target audience groups are SHG group, Anganwadi workers, and beneficiaries. So what happens in the community nutrition hub is the nutrition status will be tracked regularly. Mothers, caregivers, communities, frontline functionaries, SHG group, they get educated over there. The diet diversity is demonstrated. Kitchen garden is, or Nutri garden is demonstrated in a scientific way. Even in a resource limited setting, how an Nutri garden can be grown is demonstrated there. And then supplementary nutrition for SAM, MAM, severely underweight children and anemic mothers is being provided from the community nutrition hub, which is an add-on to what an ICDS is providing. And this is done through whatever yield is grown from the nutrition garden, that is converted through nutri-dense vegetable powders, and which is very much rich in micronutrients. And these sachets are given away to pregnant women and lactating mothers and children as a food add-on. So this model includes low-cost recipe demonstration, which is again the ingredients are taken from the community nutrition garden, and the low-cost diet diversity is demonstrated. In that way, the nutrition garden is converted in demonstrating the diet diversity, and then converting the model or the yield into dehydrated vegetable powders or the fruit powders, and so that they can reconstitute it later on and then use it during agriculture lean season. And why diet diversity is being focused is when a survey is done in this population, the diet diversity of tribal communities is much lesser compared to non-tribal population. It is less than 3 food groups. So there is a high prevalence of undernutrition and high prevalence of anemia. Almost 80% of women in these locations are anemic. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the model basically demonstrates three ways of community nutrition garden. One is involving SHG group, that is through SERP NRLM model, and then that is a community empowerment model wherein SHGs would be trained to cater to the needs of health and nutrition needs of the community using community nutrition hub. And the second model is the system strengthening model, wherein Department of Women and Child Development plays a key role, wherein the model demonstrates an upgraded Anganwadi model. The third model is integrating community nutrition hub in the health and wellness center, wherein through Niti Aayog, the health and wellness centers located in the PSC facilities have an attached community nutrition hub, which will cater to the nutrient requirement of the beneficiaries who walk into the PSC facility or the health and wellness center facility. Next slide, please. Yeah. So broadly, this is a model wherein at the community level SHGs, this is an SHG model wherein community level SHGs are empowered. They are linked to a telemedicine center wherein the SHG members, they mobilize severely undernourished mothers and children from community to the telemedicine center. The telemedicine center wherein the health related component is taken care of. Adjacent to telemedicine center is a nutrition hub with a nutrition garden wherein in garden the entire demonstration process happens, that is both awareness session, demonstration of nutrient-rich food, supplementary nutrition mix is demonstrated, rigorous growth monitoring happens, demonstration of nutrition garden at block level, at the Anganwadi level, and the household level is demonstrated. And food preservation technique is demonstrated using solar dryer. Next slide, please. So similar model to what SSG model we have just looked into is Anganwadi model, wherein ICDS centers get mobilized to the nutrition hub, which is located at the block level. Capacity building of Anganwadi workers happens with regard to nutrition garden, and then demonstration of the nutrition garden, wherein the Anganwadi workers go back and they need to grow. They are supported in growing the nutrition garden at the Anganwadi center ka backyard. So the yield of the Anganwadi center ka nutrition garden goes into the hot meal program of the Anganwadi, and that diversifies the SNP program, which is provided by the ICDS. And also there are a series of outreach activities about which talks about how an Anganwadi can play a key role in ensuring household nutrition garden of target beneficiary. Yeah, the specific measures that have been taken in growing tribal nutrition garden is cognizance of challenges in tribal areas, that is about land rights of the tribals, which is very unique to other areas, factoring in different agroecological zones, because some areas are heavily rain-fed, some areas are drought prone, and there are slopes wherein the counter cultivation is required. And Adivasis dialect is a major challenge because they do not understand the normal language that is spoken. Usually in these areas, the languages that is spoken are Adivasi Oriya, because the tribals here are basically Kuntadora, Koedora, Bhagatas, and Valmikis and Kamaras. So the language need to be customized according to the nature of the tribe. And then unique lifestyle, and also the indiscriminate Podu cultivation that they have been traditionally following has to be undone. So undoing it and then helping the tribes to cultivate in a much more better way, resulting in a much more nutri-rich crop is something where the major challenge is. So the other customization done are based upon specific nutritive needs and diet diversity score of a specific population, because pregnant women need a different set of crops in the nutri garden, and whereas Sam and man children require a specific set of nutrition garden which is protein rich, and whereas pregnant women need much of micronutrient rich based nutri garden. So such kind of customization is made, and then emphasis is laid on nutri indigenous crop and on agriculture lean seasons using solar dryer. Space constraints are addressed using bag cultivation, and shift in household expenditure is made by educating the beneficiaries on other nutritious food which cannot be grown. Whatever can be grown is grown in their household garden, and remaining they are educated to spend it on other nutritive rich products which cannot be produced in a nutri garden. Integrating livestock, that is poultry, because animal protein definitely has higher bioavailability of protein and iron. So the model integrates livestock into the nutrition garden, livestock rearing into nutrition garden, and it's also a source of supplementary income for household. SHG members are mobilized to take up nutrition-based livelihood entrepreneurship. Yeah. So some basic steps that is being used in the community kitchen garden is, I think the previous speakers have spoken about it. Over and above what is missing, I'll just add. Food consumption survey is the first step that is being doing in the community kitchen garden to understand what is the existing seasonal availability of crops, to understand what are the indigenous crops of the tribe, and what is the current diet diversity score, and what is the gap. So based upon that, the entire nutrition garden plan is made accordingly. Yeah. So this is a basically layout of the community nutrition garden. So other speakers have more or less spoken about this. One or two points that additionally I would like to add is, towards the left side you can see the east direction, and towards the right west direction. So depending upon the sunlight, the crops are divided in such a way that the most crops which require the major sunlight are towards the eastern direction, and some which require some part of sunlight and not more. I mean, majorly they can grow in the shady areas are towards the western direction. So basically the nutrition garden has perennial crops towards the corners, and it has seed bed. Then it has vermicompost pit in the nutrition garden. It has a rainwater pit, because harvesting rainwater is a major challenge in tribal areas. There is also an area of power plant growing corner which can divert the insects in that direction so that it is a natural pest control. Yeah, I'm almost done. Just two more slides. Next slide. Yeah, this is about linking the community gardens to the nutrition education. And then next slide, this is the last slide, which talks about the outcomes. Yeah. So outcomes, you can see the 50% of pregnant women and 30% lactating mothers showed improved consumption of hot meal at Anganwadi center due to improved palatability of FNP associated with the Anganwadi nutrition garden. And about 25% pregnant women improved their diet diversity score, and 18% pregnant women actually improved their hemoglobin levels as well. Coming to children, 21% children moved from SAM to normal, and about 40% of mothers improved, lactating mothers improved their diet diversity of complement the child feed. So broadly, these are the outcomes of 1 year programming in tribal areas of Andhra Pradesh. So thank you. This is a brief from my end.